before I entered this program, I know physiotherapy. I didn't know what occupational therapy was. It was new for me too. And during orientation, I had to ask, what is occupational therapy? But is this worth it to spend my money, my time in this program? And then with gathering all that information, I took a chance and I eventually ended up loving this program.
Hello everyone! So today we're happily invited. There's my other classmates. We're also like all in the OTA PTA program. My friend Lux Mina. So Lux, can you briefly introduce yourself? For example, like your academic background.
Okay, so I'm 19 years old and this is my first post-secondary program. I graduated 2023 from high school and I took a gap year, and then now I'm here as a second year student.
So how do you feel like before you came into this program? Do you have any expectations?
It was more of a spontaneous thing. I didn't have a lot of knowledge about this program, but I did know that I did research on other programs like nursing, and I know like how much more things you have to manage and study for that program. When I looked into this program seems to be more reasonable and seems to be more flexible, and I like their healthcare concepts, so that's why I chose this program.
So after you enroll in this program, like and we already finished like almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like you like about this program the most?
What I like about this program is not really directly talking about anatomy. With this program, you get to learn about everything about what causes this health condition, like social factors, using a holistic approach. So going based off how the person feels instead of just basing them on what condition they have. Yeah, that's why I really like how the program teaches us that.
They taught us the reason why these people.
Yeah, there's so many different reasons.
And like, what do you dislike? You wish you could change?
I don't like how the program is very like squished in terms of content. Compared to other programs, our program, we finish midterms and finals right away, and then we have placement. Compared to other programs, theirs is more separated, and then they do placement at the same time. Yeah, so if we only had more time in this program to study everything, that's what
they do.
I would
placement
recommend.
Like longer, but like the frequency will be like one time. But we do like separate.
Yeah, we had to finish our finals right away. We had to finish our midterms right away. It was very overwhelming for me and some people.
So what advice would you give, like, because you're like 19, so what advice would you give to like similar age student to like go through this program?
That's a very good question. I think when I was younger, I thought doing an undergraduate degree is more important. A lot of my friends, they thought doing a bachelor's degree is more important, but then later I realized that going through college and going through programs like this program, you can get more experience with placement, and you can get more experience, like hands-on experience, compared to those who do like an undergraduate degree at a university. So right now, if I didn't take this path, I would probably be lost and don't know what to do with my life. At least here, I have a direct path. If I want to, I'm going to become an OTA PTA, and from there I can grow with my career.
I mean, like if the advice you give for your age, like go into secondary school student, like wants to know how to cope with the stress.
Oh, coping?
Your strategy.
Okay, with coping with stress, that's also a good question. I believe that you should always find something that you're passionate about. So the first semester with anatomy, like everything was overwhelming. Everything is different from high school. But then at the same time, you're gonna have to read through your content and see if you actually like what you're reading. Because if you don't like it at all, then you shouldn't do it. But I liked what I did. When I went through the anatomy notes, when I went through physiotherapy notes, I enjoyed what I was reading. So you should never feel forced to do something that you don't like. That's the advice I would give. That's how the stress overwhelms you. Because if you don't like what you're reading or what you're learning, then there's no point of doing it, right? But when it comes to there's so many assignments, I feel like doing assignments earlier is so much better because you don't have to play catch up. You don't have to do it last minute with a deadline. And nothing has to be perfect. As long as you learn and you put as much effort as you can, that is more important.
Tell us about your placement. What did you do during your placement?
So at my hospital placement, I had a workload of 6 to 8 patients per day. What I ended up doing with them is that I would make my own schedule with my preceptor. I need to see this patient in the morning, I have to see this patient in the afternoon, whatever's their preference, because some of them they like to sleep in, right? And then second thing, we would go into the patient's room, help them get ready, whether that's helping them brush their hair or letting them get dressed. Also introducing myself to one other thing, we would ambulate the patient, so we would get them up, get them ready, and bring them to the gym, and they would do their own exercise, and we would have to supervise them. Another thing I got to experience is that there's robotic machines, and that helps them do like range of motion. I also had to help them with like mechanical transfers. And I also was able to communicate with the patient and learn how to document. So I have to document everything that they said, I had to document what they did, and I had to also learn how to communicate not only with my preceptor, but I had to talk to like PTs, OTs, I had to talk to nurses, and then with my pediatric placement, I got to work with a lot of kids, so that was I had to be more energetic.
How was the clinic setting?
The clinic setting was more overwhelming for me because there's clients coming and going. So I think I would see like total 10 to 12. And kids can be a lot sometimes, but very fun, very entertaining. If you're a happy person, if you're very energetic like myself, I enjoyed that experience as well. I also got to do like neural stimulation. So you would put stickers on their like spinal cord, and my preceptors, they would help the patient with that. One thing, I would help them with exercises and just being creative, playing with them.
How about interact with the coworkers and the preceptors? Do you have any advice on that?
Advice I would give is to be out there. I know you can tend to be shy, or you can tend to feel like you don't belong, or you feel awkward, but in life you're gonna have to like put yourself out there. No one is about to attack you or anything. Everyone is pretty friendly, and I had a good experience doing that. I ended up being more like known by other coworkers. Oh, hey, this is Lux, because I talk to a lot of people. That's how you make connections, and that's how you can grow with your career and during placement.
Can you tell us about like the accommodation?
Before I entered this program, I ended up getting accommodations based off my like condition I have. I had to go get myself diagnosed because I believe my learning style, like I had a hard time learning compared to other peers, and once I was able to get that diagnosis, I transferred that information to Humber, to our school, and they adjusted my accommodations for this program, and the teachers were aware about that, and now because of my accommodations, I'm able to prioritize my mental health. I'm able to make myself more flexible, and if I had to go in depth about my accommodations, I get to have more time when I write exams or when I write quizzes. I get to have more flexibility with extensions, and I'm also allowed to not take more tests in one day. I'm allowed to take only one test per day. In that sense, yeah.
And that's why like manage the schedule is like even more important for you, because you have different schedule with other people.
Yes, but it's a beneficial thing too, because if I don't feel prepared enough, I have my accommodations and I'm allowed to take it in any time during the certain parameters they give me. And even if I can take it even before too, if I'm already ready.
Yeah. I think you're the expert for scheduling.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you wish you had known before you enrolled this program? To look back now, you feel like I wish I knew this.
I wish it tends to be natural, but at the first semester I was very lost because it was like I didn't find that certain rhythm. But eventually, it was more so about not being afraid to like dive in there and read all the content information, even though it can look overwhelming. And that way, once I started reading and once I started practicing and doing like homework, I got used to that, and I got my own rhythm, I got my own pace, and I became more confident with my abilities, and I started to understand things a lot more, and I always asked questions, and the teachers would always be accommodating, and they would always teach me, and
Yeah.
I would say
How about communication with the teacher? Because
Yeah.
that's also a huge part of this program, because you always have questions you're curious about and probably not answer in the class or already answer in the class, but you still want to know more.
Yeah.
Then how about like communication with the professors?
I see. In this, well, I'm a bit more different. I'm more verbal. So no matter what, I would always ask questions. I would always engage with the class. So I would always engage with the teacher. Me asking questions is my way of paying attention in class. Because sometimes you can get easily distracted. But me asking questions, it forces myself to be engaged. And I always end up being more focused that way. And asking questions, like before when I was younger, sometimes I wouldn't know this certain word or this concept or this terminology, and I would just sit there and do nothing, and then it's going to be on the test one day and I'm like, oops, I didn't know that it was there, like I didn't ask questions. And it's your money, it's your education, it's your life. You shouldn't care about what other people think. The teacher is always there to help you. You should always, like in this program, everyone, all the professors are accommodating, and you are able to ask for help when needed.
What's your expectation or your like future career plan?
My future career plan, so right now I'm finishing this program. This is like a bridging program for me. So I plan to do my undergraduate degree with health sciences, allied health sciences. And then once I finish my bachelor's, I'm thinking about becoming a doctor. Or I have the option to become an occupational therapist, somewhere in the healthcare field, and I want to grow from there.
Thank you for accepting my interview today.
Yay, you're a great man.